Yup, I'm gonna say it. Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now.
Did you see Breanna Stewart's reaction when Caitlin Clark pulled up from the logo and nailed that three? One of the WNBA's biggest stars just stood there, smiling and shaking her head. She couldn't believe it. And honestly, who could? The crowd erupted like they had just won a championship. That clip exploded online. Over 786,000 views within hours. LeBron James tweeted about it. ESPN played it over and over again. For a moment, the entire basketball world, from NBA legends to casual fans, was locked in on Caitlin Clark.
Clark directing traffic, and then steps back with the three over Breanna Stewart.
Watch the reaction with one another. Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous.
Then came the game itself. The Indiana Fever didn't just win, they dominated. A 102-88 blowout against the New York Liberty inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Clark wasn't just hitting shots, she was owning the moment. The Fever looked sharp, confident, and completely locked in.
It's really hard not to recognize the difference that she makes on the Indiana Fever, a team that was obviously struggling with playmaking, struggling with pacing, struggling with the things that make us want to watch. And she steps into that court, and in the first quarter, she made 3 threes in 38 seconds.
What was it about that one shot that sent shockwaves through the sport? Why did a single moment grip the entire basketball world? Because it wasn't just a deep three, it was a statement. And if you believe the Clark effect is here to stay, let's dive into what really happened in that game.
All right, so everybody is talking about this crazy moment right here with Breanna Stewart and Caitlin Clark just saying, hey, clear the ways. I'm about to cash this thing. All right, so let's take a look at it, man, just in case some of y'all missed the game, man. Caitlin dribbling between the legs, step back. Look at the space. Look at the space, man. Look where she's at. Logo ready. Oh my goodness, just pulls it. Nothing but the bottom of the net, and then give her a ooh.
It started with one play that left the entire arena stunned, especially Breanna Stewart. And that says a lot. Stewart isn't just any player. She's a two-time MVP, a champion, and known for keeping her cool. But when Caitlin Clark, in just her second year and coming off an injury, pulled up from the logo and drilled a three, even Stewart couldn't hold back. She smiled, laughed, and shook her head in disbelief. In that moment, a WNBA legend quietly acknowledged something rare, something you don't see every day.
Shoots it from the logo, she drills it, and right afterwards, I think all Breanna Stewart could do is kind of laugh about it. I actually loved that moment.
This shot wasn't a fluke or a heat check. Clark's always had that kind of range, but to try it at this moment against this opponent showed a level of confidence and swagger that's rare for any player, let alone a rookie. You could see Stewart's reaction as more than just surprise. It was respect. She's been at the top of the league for years, and she knows what greatness looks like. That smile was her way of saying, okay, you're for real. And that's not something Stewart gives out lightly.
Clark hitting that step back on Stewie and chirping. You love to see the rookie confidence. Hey, man. She is confident. I mean, she's not a rookie, but she's a sophomore now. But man, extremely confident out there. I love what she was doing. That looked like MVP Caitlin Clark.
The context made it even bigger. The Liberty hadn't lost a game all season. The Fever were fighting to prove they belonged. Clark, after missing time with her injury, had to answer every question about whether she was ready for the big stage. And she didn't just answer, she rewrote the script. She didn't care about expectations or pressure. She just played her game. And that logo shot became the turning point. It wasn't just about the points. It was about attitude. Clark looked at the best team in the league and said, I'm not backing down.
Something that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to see a player that's just this fun to watch playing basketball. I don't know when we're going to see that. And Stewie, by the way, Stewie tried to do honestly everything. She tried. If we're being honest, Breanna Stewart really freaking tried. You've got Bleacher Report out there
There was no need for extra drama. Stewart's reaction said it all. She's not quick to show emotion during games, but even she had to acknowledge what she'd just seen. That's what made the moment viral. The clip of Stewart smiling and shaking her head spread across social media in seconds.
Said, man, everybody is talking about this moment. 786,000 views. That is ridiculous, man. Let's see what some people are talking about with it.
ESPN even reposted her logo jumper on X, fueling the question, is she already a generational talent? As some commentators put it during the live stream, Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world right now. The respect from Stewart, the buzz from fans, and the numbers on that highlight all pointed to something bigger happening.
ESPN posting about it. So she's guarding Caitlin, and that shot goes in. She's probably like, what the hell's going on? Caitlin Clark immediately trash talking, and she has to laugh.
But Clark didn't stop with one highlight. She kept attacking, kept pushing, and made sure that shot wasn't just a flash in the pan. The Liberty's defense looked rattled, and the Fever started to believe. Stewart might have laughed at the shot, but by the end of the game, there was nothing funny about the scoreboard. Clark's performance became the story, not just for the shot, but for how she carried herself after it.
Steph Curry of the WNBA. Absolutely. I agree 1,000%. That's what got me hooked with Steph game, and I'm right back hooked with Caitlin Clark for playing like this, man.
This wasn't just a highlight, it was a moment that shifted the energy of the whole game. Clark didn't just make a statement, she forced everyone, even the biggest names in the league, to take notice. And as the dust settled, one thing became clear. This was more than a comeback. It was a statement game, and it had everyone asking what Caitlin Clark would do next.
But here's the thing, the New York Liberty, they played really well too. So the Indiana Fever, it's like BC, like, you know, BC before Christ, only like before Caitlin. It's the Indiana Fever before Caitlin and the Indiana Fever after Caitlin. She is like 1,000% the difference maker.
Nothing in the WNBA prepares you for the kind of comeback Caitlin Clark delivered against the Liberty. This was Clark's first game back after her injury, and the entire building felt that anticipation. The stakes couldn't have been higher. The Fever were facing the undefeated Liberty, and all eyes were on Clark. She didn't just return to the court, she took control from the opening tip, making it clear she wasn't going to ease her way back in. Right from the start, Clark put her stamp on the game. In the first quarter alone, she hit 3 3-pointers in just 38 seconds. That's not a stat line you see every day. Each shot was deeper than the last, and each one sent a wave of disbelief through the crowd and the Liberty defense. You could see the shock on their faces, but it wasn't just the shooting, it was the way she did it.
Caitlin is just a pure dog, man. Pure dog. Came out, gave me that excitement once again. And yeah, you can feel it, you can see it, you can taste it.
Clark played with a confidence that radiated across the floor, punctuating each big play with her Michael Jordan-style tongue-out celebration. It was like she was daring anyone to doubt her. Those moments weren't just highlights, they were proof that she was back and ready to lead.
Difference when she's on that court, man. The game is quicker, it's more entertaining, it's just electrifying, man. So I have to give it to her. I have to give it to her, man. She's the most fun, watchable player in the WNBA. It is what it is, and I love ball.
Clark's night wasn't just about racking up points. She made her presence felt on both ends of the court. She contested shots and dove for loose balls, something even her critics on defense applauded. Her hustle set the tone for the Fever, and you could feel her energy ripple through the team. Suddenly, everyone in a Fever jersey looked sharper, more aggressive, and more confident. Clark's leadership wasn't just about scoring, it was about lifting everyone around her. She turned the underdog Fever into a team that looked like they belonged on the same floor as the league's best. And when you talk about recognition, it doesn't get any bigger than LeBron James weighing in. LeBron James tweeted simply,
The CC effect, welcome back, you were missed. from the GOAT.
That's the kind of shout out that puts you on the map in a new way. It wasn't just fans or WNBA insiders noticing Clark's impact. Basketball royalty was paying attention. That tweet captured exactly what everyone was feeling. Clark's return was a moment you had to see to believe. Her influence didn't go unnoticed by her opponents either. Breanna Stewart, who knows all about the spotlight, said after the game,
She said, basketball's a game of runs. The same way we go on a run, they do as well. They're a great team. I think we gave Caitlin too many easy ones. She has great range. On a personal level, I'm happy to see her out there on the court and feeling good.
That's not just sportsmanship. That's respect from a peer who understands what it takes to perform at this level. Even Liberty coach Sandy Brondello was seen clapping after Clark's third logo three-pointer. When you get that kind of reaction from the opposing bench, you know you've done something special.
I think the interactions between the two teams were kind of fun tonight, especially the one between Stewie and Caitlin. And if you look even further beyond them, this is after Caitlin shot that logo three where Stewie gave her like 5 feet of space to do so. But you will see Sandy Brondello looking like she's just kind of giving her a little bit of props. Because really, like, when you make three logo three, not just regular three-pointers, but three three-pointers in that amount of time is crazy. 3 logo threes in that amount of time is unreal.
Clark's performance didn't just silence any questions about her readiness. It redefined the conversation around her and the Fever. This wasn't just a personal comeback. It was a game that shifted the balance of power in the league, even if just for one night. The Liberty had the momentum, the streak, the experience, but Clark's fearless play flipped the narrative. Suddenly, the Fever weren't just trying to keep up, they were dictating the pace.
Caitlin is the future of the WNBA. Absolutely. Limitless range, lit up. Reclaim your yard. Cole, the face of women's sports. That face. She's that dog, no cap.
And while Clark lit the spark, what happened next showed that her impact goes far beyond her own stat line. When the Fever needed more than just a spark, the rest of the squad stepped up in a way nobody saw coming. This wasn't a one-woman show. The defending champs came in with all the hype, but the Fever answered with a team effort that left the Liberty scrambling. Every player seemed to find their moment, and suddenly, the story shifted from Caitlin Clark's comeback to a full-on group statement.
Kelsey Mitchell was someone that I was at, like, for the majority of the game, I was like, what is going on with Kelsey Mitchell? She is just like missing, bricking, dribble. And then Kelsey Mitchell comes in clutch at the end, ends up with 22 points.
That's right, Kelsey Mitchell's night is the perfect example. She started out quiet, barely making a dent in the first quarter, but then she found her rhythm with a turning point three that changed everything. From that moment, Mitchell became the engine of the Fever offense, slicing through the Liberty's defense and hitting clutch shots whenever the momentum threatened to swing. She finished with 22 points, but it was the timing of her buckets, breaking double teams, stopping Liberty runs, and keeping the pressure on that made her performance so vital. The Liberty just couldn't adjust once Mitchell caught fire, and you could feel the frustration building on their side.
Mitchell over Breanna Stewart.
Sydney Colson's 10 points were quietly huge. Her hustle plays kept feeding the momentum when the Liberty threatened. Colson came off the bench and immediately made an impact, whether it was by getting to the rim, drawing fouls, or making the extra pass. Her energy was contagious, and every time the Liberty tried to claw back, Colson found a way to answer. Those contributions don't always make the highlight reel, but they're exactly what keeps a team in control against a powerhouse like New York.
Sydney Colson stepped it up in this game. She notched 10 points, which is actually great for Sydney Colson coming in off the bench. 6 assists, a rebound, and a steal. And she made some pretty important plays. Everybody was in the plus-minus category for the team.
Lexi Hull made her presence felt from beyond the arc. She knocked down 3 out of 4 from deep, and each one seemed to come just when the Fever needed a lift. Even after missing a couple of easy layups, Hull stayed locked in and made the Liberty pay for leaving her open. Her shooting stretched the defense and forced the Liberty to rethink their coverages, opening up the floor for the rest of the team to operate.
We saw Lexi spotting up at the three-point line. She drilled 3 out of 4 of them, and what was she? Her field goal percentage was a pretty impressive 50%. She came away with 14 points for the game. But I gotta tell you, as much as I love Lexi, she missed some easy layups. Like, I don't know what was going on with the layup game with the Indiana Fever.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever didn't just shoot well, they shot with confidence and purpose. They poured in 17 triples, a new franchise record. The Fever went 48% from 3, while the Liberty could only manage 20%. That's not just a stat, that's a strategy that flipped the game on its head. When a team can spread the floor like that and almost everyone gets involved, it's nearly impossible to keep up. Every Fever player seemed to have the green light, and the Liberty just couldn't find an answer as the shots kept falling. This wasn't a fluke. The Fever executed their game plan from start to finish, and when they needed someone to make a play, someone always stepped up. The record-breaking three-point shooting, the balanced scoring, and the relentless energy on both ends of the floor. It all added up to a win that felt bigger than just another notch in the standings. The Fever didn't just beat the Liberty, they sent a message to the rest of the league that they're a real threat when they play together like this. A performance like that changes how a team is viewed, not just by fans, but by every opponent left on their schedule.
She's the type of player that would drop 30 on your head and laugh after every single bucket they scored.
Instead, let's talk about what this game might just mean for the league going forward. This wasn't just any win for the Indiana Fever. It might just be a turning point. Caitlin Clark's return brought more than points. It shifted the spotlight. Now, the conversation isn't only about the Liberty's dominance or Breanna Stewart's legacy. It's about Clark showing what's possible for a rookie and the Fever proving they can compete with anyone. And if you think this was just a one-game flash, you might want to reconsider. Clark and the Fever are only getting started. So who's going to find an answer for Caitlin Clark and this Fever squad? Drop in the comments if you think Clark just rewrote the WNBA's future, and don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns every week.